Hey, what's up, everybody?
What up?
This is
It's good. It's good. It's good.
Wrestling Girls are officially back, okay?
Yo, we've been out. We've been on this streaming shit this week.
Yeah, we've been streaming heavy lately. We are officially back, but this time we're not alone. Like, we're never alone, but this time we're really not alone. We are officially kicking off our Men in Wrestling podcast series, and we decided to. What better way to kick it off than with our friends all the way from the UK?
Our London boys.
We want to welcome Resting to the show. Thank you for wanting to be a part. Thank you for joining us today. I know we had to figure out time differences and things because right now it's 11 over here, but it's like 4 over there. So thank you for joining us today. How are you guys feeling?
Make sure to go. I'm feeling good. Where 2 other members are on their way now.
Yo!
Oh, here we are.
Literally have to run outside to get our boy Sam.
But yeah, we're all good. Thanks for having us. It's been a long time coming, and obviously, you know, we made the trip out stateside to WrestleMania and all of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it was good to kind of meet with all the kind of the black content creators in it, because in the UK, we're on, it's just us. That's the facts of the matter. It's just us. Wow. Whereas in the US, there's a lot of people out there that look like us creating content. So it's good to kind of have these link ups.
Well, I'm happy that you guys are able to, you know, join us, be a part of it. I'm so happy that we was able to meet you guys. I think I'm not sure which one you guys I met first, but I know Cam, shout out to Seahawk. He literally was just like, hey, can you record us real quick? And I was playing like his videographer for like the entire day. And I'm just like, I'm on the phone. Like, I'm on a meeting. Like, why am I playing your videographer? And then I heard the accents and I'm just like, oh my God, first of all, Cam knows everybody. I thought I knew.
Right? Like,
he knows everybody. Like, Cam is literally worldwide. Like, worldwide. Shout out to Cam. And then, you know, P had came up to me after, was like, oh my God, did you meet Restings? And I'm like, no. And she was like, you didn't? They're from the UK. I said, oh yeah, I met them. And it was just like instant, we got to have you guys on the show. We got to collaborate. We have to do something. So please,
yeah, so you're right.
For those who don't know names and faces, and we know we're missing like three.
It's a lot of y'all.
So please just introduce yourself so that the
Yeah. There's like 7 of us, but we have like honorable guests as well. So honorable members, can I call it that?
Yeah, honorable
members.
We've got a big family, basically.
Yeah, very big family.
We've got cousins, we've got aunties, uncles, they're all part of wrestling. But main of us, there's 7 of us. So I'm Del Boy.
I'm Anafi.
And I'm Sam.
And Mex as well. There, bottom screen. And we kind of like, I think when we first started off as like a mini podcast. Like, we wasn't really taking that seriously. So we were bi-weekly, so we're doing it every 2 weeks. As time went on, like a lot of what do you call it, like demand and interest kind of picked up, and people kind of like started to like realize what we're doing and saw the bigger picture and stuff. And yeah, we're weekly now, and we're doing more than podcasts now. We're doing shows, like we're doing little documentaries. We're doing stuff on the streets, talking to people on the streets. Like, there's plenty of stuff we're doing, and we're just trying to, like, you know, make wrestling cool again over here, because wrestling's lost that coolness. Everyone's all about other stuff like football. Football's a very big sport here, so you can come here. Soccer is a big sport.
So it's okay. You can say that. I work at the Sun, so I'm around British people all day long.
Sick.
And they don't let me say soccer. They're like, football. I can't do it. I wish I could.
You got football, bro. Football. Yeah. So football's a very big sport here. A lot of people love football, so you can literally come to London and find thousands of football podcasts, and she like. Are we doing people's doing this?
What, wrestling? What, doing it?
Podcasting. Yeah. Podcast. As in, I mean people, I mean within our group, as in obviously Mex got podcast, Skillet's got podcast. Like, there's not really that much wrestling podcasts.
Not black ones. It's mainly like the white ones, like the What Cultures, the Cultaholics, Wrestle Talks, Grapple,
Inside the Ropes.
Inside the Ropes.
Yeah.
So we weren't the first black, but I think in terms of like the ones getting their name out there and networking and I think we them ones.
We the ones. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you guys on, because I was curious to see what the wrestling was out there in London, and as far as representation, because when I got back into wrestling and YouTube channels, they were all like British white guys, and which was one of the reasons why I wanted to speak on, especially the women, from like our lens, so that it's like relatable and it's like, from where we came from, because me and Krista and I grew up watching wrestling, and we were fortunate enough to live in New York City, and there's a big black wrestling community that I didn't even know existed, and as you've met some of them in London, so I'm so curious just about the representation out there, kind of some of the reaction you guys have been getting from the community out there since you guys started.
I would say it's a thing where we've all found ourselves through wrestling, literally. So, within rest things, we've got a lot of, creative guys. We've got business owners. We've got, musicians, videographers, graphic designers. But what has brought us together is wrestling. It's like you see another black wrestling fan, and you always remember that the Spider-Man meme of the two Spider-Man pointing at each other, like that's it. That's my bro. Immediately, like, you've got something to connect over. So I think that's really what's kind of brought us together. We're still kind of on our own little pilgrimage to find more black wrestling fans and get them involved and with what we're doing. But we've built up a really nice community, especially those of us that live in and around London, in the UK. So yeah, yet to reach out to other areas and build that further. But I feel like people know what we're doing, and people can see that, we're stressing at the forefront of what we're doing. It's like, yeah, we're black wrestling fans, and this isn't traditionally a space for us, but we're here making waves. And you know how black people be anyway, but by the time we go to a wrestling show, everyone wants to hang with us because we're making the most noise. We're the ones that are kind of really integral to the show being good. We go to watch parties. That's been the case as well. People want to watch where we're watching the wrestling. So we're not to toot our own horn, but we're popping out here still, and there's still a lot more work to do.
Hey, say it loud, bro. Say it loud, man. We're popping.
One more time, please.
No, step into your light. Like, y'all are filling a void. Y'all are fulfilling a niche out there. And I can relate to just like connections through wrestling. And it's wild because it's like I grew up watching wrestling like with my family, and who would have known that like it would be such a huge part of my life, and some of the people that I'm like the most special people in my life that I've met through wrestling, like, and I love that you brought up the Spider-Man meme, because like seeing someone like in the street, for example, with like a wrestling shirt, and it's just like,
yeah,
like, you just like it's like a inside club. That's what my dad would always say. It's like a inside club, and it's like, if you know, and it's like the dopest club you could be a part of.
Right. It's like exclusive, but not exclusive. But it's like, y'all want to be us. Y'all want to be with us, and we're welcoming to it. We're very welcoming to it. There was a comment from Wrestling in Color podcast that it is very difficult to find Black lady wrestling podcasters specifically, and YouTube suppresses a lot of Black podcasters.
Mm-hmm.
When me and I first started those wrestling girls, we did our research, like we dug deep, and we didn't see two Black females talking about female wrestling, women's wrestling. It was only the two of us. Literally only the two of us, and this was in 2018. So to see the trajectory change within 5 years, to see like it's so much more of us now, and I can't really answer to the YouTube suppresses a lot of Black podcasters. I just feel like I feel like if you put the work out there, it's going to be seen. Like, sometimes algorithms messed up. Sometimes, it really depends. Like when I came back from California, and I say this all the time, Pre-California, my TikTok was not full of anything wrestling unless I went on those Wrestling Girls TikTok page. Post-California, that's all I'm watching on my TikTok feed. Everybody's into watching more Black people, like who look like us, talk about wrestling, speak about, give their opinions, have their creative juices flowing, right? And coming up with creative storylines to see like where it can go next. And speaking of creative storylines, let's talk about this bloodline thing real quick. Because we all bloodline fans, we all threw up the ones.
All put up the ones.
The Usos lost yesterday, just like them losing at WrestleMania.
Ooh.
So what's next? Like, what do y'all think is next for the bloodline? Because technically, I think I saw on TikTok the Usos were officially kicked out of the bloodline because they lost yesterday.
Wow.
So what's next? Like, where do you want it to go next? And who, if anybody, can dethrone Roman?
I think, it's time to have a civil war in the family. And we already saw it yesterday when Paul Heyman was like to Solo, when the match is done, you know what to do, and he started strapping up his hand like in the position of a gun. So I think like probably Paul Heyman and probably Roman Reigns are gonna probably turn Solo on his brothers. Then we'll have like a beef between the brothers. Then that's when we'll probably get, eventually somewhere down the line we'll get Jay versus Roman, and Jay will get back in blood in it. So we're looking forward to that. Like Dale's been saying for years. Is it years? Can I say years now, isn't it? A whole year now. He's been saying that the whole bloodline thing kind of came from, the whole bloodline thing kind of came from Jay and Roman. That was the initial beef, right? Then it kind of spurred out to different sort of things, and obviously Jay had to like allow the whole thing and stuff. And yeah, I think we're getting it now. We're getting it now. You same thing? That's the same thing, right?
I love that.
I think it's definitely going to be a civil war. I feel because there's tension already, and Sammy's already planting the seed, getting into Jay's head. So I think it's only going to be a matter of time before sparks go all over the place, and I hate you and I hate the tribal chief, and and acknowledge me, and then it just goes out of control. So that's what I feel. That's going to happen. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Makes you
I'm here for it too. I like violence. I like chaos and all that. So I'm like, let it work.
All the time.
Sometimes.
All the time. You have your ideas? You have your ideas on where it's gonna go?
I think the focus is gonna shift now, as it's been like Sami Zayn and Jey Uso for a minute. I think the focus is slowly shifting to Solo now. Like Solo's gonna be the one that kind of has to pick a side now, whether it's his brothers or this role as the enforcer next to Roman Reigns, and I guess the exposure that comes with that. But yeah, I think they're invested in Solo and giving Solo the rub at this point. It's been one of the greatest stories over the last year or whatever. Right now, I'm just giving it grace. It's not in its boom period as it has been over the last couple of months, but because the story's been just so good, I'm just prepared to kind of wait out. We've got this draft that's gonna long things out over the next couple of weeks. Once the draft is all settled, once Backlash is done, I think we're gonna settle back into this bloodline story and just see what's gonna happen. So I'm giving it grace for now to see what comes of it.
Okay, so whoever's running this Wrestling Realm account, I just want to figure out, how is it all Sammy's fault? How is it all Sammy's fault? Because if you look at it, this dissension in the bloodline has been brewing for 3 years now. 3 long years it's been brewing between Roman and Jay going at it when Jimmy was out, and then Roman using Jimmy for Jay to say I quit, for like the Wilson moments to put the lay over Roman. Like, this has been brewing. Like, even when they accepted Sammy into the bloodline and Jay was like, no, I don't trust it. I don't trust him. I don't like him. You're not my dog. You're not my family. This, that, and the third. So it ain't Sammy's fault. Sammy, he broke Jay's heart. Roman broke Jay's heart too. Who's gonna hurt more, family or not family? Let's just get into
Good point.
So, but I do see
Roman's just out.
Say it again. Roman's what?
No, I was just gonna say Roman's out here breaking everyone's heart now. What's going on?
Right.
You know? Like he a heartbreaker, he a tease. Like, come on. Like
you know?
What if he
just don't give a damn.
What if he has something to do with them being split up? Like, I feel like there's so much more to the brand split because it don't go into effect until I think after Backlash, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. So a lot can happen in that time, and I'm like all the way here for that. But Sammy, he messy. He wanted to tangle up with the bloodline and then turned on the bloodline. So I'm like, you know, and then you got KO that might turn on him. So there's so many layers to it. I'm hyped.
I feel like I don't think Sammy's messy. I just feel like his back was against the wall when it came down to choosing between the bloodline and Kevin Owens. Because if the bloodline is all about family and not turning on family, Kevin Owens is essentially Sami Zayn's family. So what would you do? You're not going to sit here and stick with the popular kids if they're over here bullying or beating up or beating down your family. You're going to be like, all right, I'm out and I'm going to run with my family. So I don't think Sami was being messy. His back was against the wall and he made a choice. It was hard for him to make, but he made that
Sammy's
choice.
being messy.
Oh my gosh.
Sammy's being very, very messy.
Right.
Sammy's
Nobody
messy.
asked
Let's
him
keep
to
it
be
a
a part of the bloodline. Like you
messy.
came to them wanting to be a part of things.
Exactly. Sammy wanted to go to the bloodline. He fasted up himself. He ran to the bloodline. He was doing all of their dirty work. And all of a sudden, the person that had been turning on him for 4 or 5 years, even more than that, he decided, you know what, I want to back him and I want to defend him. Bro, this all started because of you. If Sammy had kept himself to himself, carried on fighting Johnny Knoxville, maybe fought the whole of Jackass, we wouldn't be here. This is Sammy's fault. I'm so sorry. Can't defend him.
He really did.
We can't defend him.
But at the same time,
Sammy's at fault.
But at the same time, I feel like Roman Reigns is a narcissist, man.
He is, and that's fine.
He's a horrible narcissist. You know, when you're in a relationship, God forbid, no one has been in this situation, and you're with that narcissist, and they're just taking control, and they're saying, you know, you have to do this and you have to do that, and it's me. You know, it's horrible.
Roman is a Nigerian uncle, basically.
Basically,
he's basically a Nigerian uncle.
Basically, yeah, he definitely is. He is. You know, horrible.
Oh man, I'm curious. Do you guys watch anything else? Like, do you guys watch AEW? Like, what else wrestling wise are you guys into?
Yeah, we kind of watch AEW.
I say kinda. We are.
Actually, no, I'm gonna get to the kinda. Okay, the kinda was for something else.
I think, yeah.
AEW, I think we watch everything. We kind of watch everything. Like we're all ears open because in our chats and stuff, we always get recommended matches. So someone recommend a match from DDT, and we're like, "Oh, cool, let's go check that out." Those that will check it out, and those that don't check out. But and we watch it. Sometimes you end up watching a full show. This guy watched his first Wrestle Kingdom this year. Big up Sam. Sam, a couple years ago, would not watch. You watched the first Wrestle Kingdom, yeah? Well, everyone give round of applause. Love because you know it's a couple years ago, this guy would not watch anything but WWE. It's crazy.
The E, all the time. The E, that was me.
Yeah,
you know,
that's like just other rest still. Wow.
When we got started, people really were like kind of resentful towards us because we only watched WWE, and we like, well, that's what we grew up on. Calm it down.
Right, they were like, "How are you those wrestling girls? You don't even watch all other females and all other stuff." I'm like, "Yo, y'all trying to fight now? Like, what are y'all doing?"
Yeah, exactly. I kind of felt like that as well, and you know, the guys forced me into it.
Don't lie. Come on, man. Don't lie.
You enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it.
No, I enjoyed it. It's
this
fine.
Guy's the biggest fan forever because he's the E. But when he watches other companies, he's like, "Oh, you know, this isn't that bad." I enjoyed that match.
His first independent show like last week.
And I enjoyed it.
It's fine, yeah.
He'll come on the podcast and say, "Nah, fuck all of that. I only watch this wrestling. It's the best one. It's the only one I watch." But you've been watching it.
I have nothing to say.
But in terms of like wrestling things, like we all have like our individual stuff that we all enjoy. You know, some of us are more privy to like the AEWs and the Ring of Honors and the New Japans and the DTTs, and there's other people that are into like the independents, and there's people that strictly watch WWE. But we try to just be as well rounded as possible. Some more than others, but yeah,
100%.
I think the one message we always try to spread on our channels is like, your father, your mother don't own none of these companies, so you ain't got to be loyal. You ain't got to be in the trenches fighting and defending these companies. Like, enjoy what you enjoy, like whatever wrestlers you like, follow them around the world wherever they may turn up. But the tribalism side of things, like, miss us with all of that.
Yeah, we don't care, more or less.
It's so stupid too, because there's so much wrestling, like especially when you get to like the regional level, the indie level, like there's so much more to it than WWE. But like, again, enjoy what you want to enjoy. I don't watch AEW on a regular basis, but I love that it exists. I love that there's competition. I love that there's another place where talent can go and make money, because like you said, and I learned like the last like 2 or 3 years, just from everything that happened with WWE, the layoffs and the pandemic and the other shady shit. I realized, like, I'm glad that you know, Mercedes can go to Japan. I'm glad that Trinity can go to Impact, and you know, I'm gonna follow the wrestler. I'm gonna support them. So now I'm like, how do I watch Impact? Like, that's what it should be all about.
Yeah.
No, 100%. 100%. I agree.
Absolutely. I think that's even same with me. So I got a liking for Jay White. I think the first time I saw Jay White, I was like, yo, this is my guy. So I ended up getting a bit more into New Japan because of that. And now that he's in AEW, it makes it much more easier for me. So I can now watch him, not at normal time, but like, you know, after 1 a.m. and stuff, not at 6 a.m. and stuff. But yeah, man, it's good. Yeah, you're right about the whole supporting wrestlers rather than supporting the whole company, because these wrestlers will now leave the company and what else you left with in it. So yeah, definitely agree on that.
So what's the time difference like for you to have to watch like a WWE or AEW or New Japan? Because for us, everything is like nighttime, 8 p.m., stuff like that on this side. And then when it comes down to New Japan Pro, I think I set my alarm to what, 4 a.m. to see Mercedes Moné match or whatever. You guys, I would never do in life.
So you guys are East Coast, so that's why it's 8 p.m., which I think is a decent time. Like, even when we were in LA and we were watching Raw, that came on at like what, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, which felt hella early. But if we're watching the UK, like, I watch in the morning. The first thing I do when I wake up, like, because I ain't staying up for 3 hours of Raw, which is that's 1 a.m. I think it finishes at 3 a.m. or something like that. Four, so finishes at 4. So yeah, it starts at 1 a.m. AEW, Raw, SmackDown, whatever the case is. New Japan would start by like 7 a.m. I think, something like that. So that's much more. Yeah, that's much more doable if you're into that. But yeah, otherwise, you got to stay up past midnight to watch the show, and then if you got work the next day, then yeah, man. Yeah,
I end up watching like the first hour. I always watch the first hour. So last night SmackDown was on. I watched the first hour of SmackDown and I go to sleep. So the next day I'll catch the rest. It's hard, man. Honestly, it's hard. Like, it felt good watching WrestleMania on wrestling time.
On time.
When we were there, it felt so good. Like, even the fact that we saw it live, like, it felt good. We need that experience more, man.
It was weird for us.
That more.
Like,
so
it was super early because we was on West Coast time. So it was just like, usually if we're over here watching WrestleMania or at a WrestleMania event or whatever, we're like, all right, it's late, we're gonna go home. We got out. We was like, oh, it's still early. What we doing?
Yeah, I appreciated that. It left the whole night to like you could actually do something maybe after.
Yeah.
So was that your first WrestleMania?
Yeah, that was our first time going to Mania.
First but not last.
Yeah, but not last. We're going next year. We're going Philly.
Y'all gonna be.
We're gonna come to New York City. We're coming to New York and Philly, innit? So yeah, we'll be there. You guys got to take care of us.
Yeah, please show us around. You know.
Oh my God, we gotta take
literally. We say that Philly is literally up the block because it's literally like a 2-hour drive to Philly from New York. That is
okay.
So y'all can definitely come. We're gonna definitely show y'all. We can show y'all New York. I can't really show you Philly because I'm not from there, but I've been there a couple of times.
Yeah,
we can definitely show you New York.
1,000%.
Who but us, right?
I know. But how did you guys get into wrestling? Are y'all like Attitude Era babies like Krista B and I?
Say that again.
How did you guys get into wrestling? Are y'all Attitude Era babies like us?
I think we all got different stories, I'm guessing.
Yeah, everyone's got their own story of how they got into wrestling.
I got in through WCW.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch it growing up, so I'm so curious, like how that led to your podcast.
Yeah, myself, I got through WCW because in the UK, WCW used to come on after Cartoon Network. So you'd be watching cartoons by 7 o'clock. Cartoon Network will be done, and then I think Clueless used to come on, if you remember Clueless.
Love Clueless.
And then and then WCW used to come on after that. So my dad was watching a lot of WCW at the time, and yeah, that it just started from there.
Oh wow! I would have never.
Yeah, like to think WCW was like more watchable out there. Yeah, because depending.
I think WWE or WWF at the time was on like cable, like it was. I don't know like how people used to watch it because I found it after a certain time, but I think what I was watching was Sunday Night Heat.
Oh,
Sunday Night Heat used to come up on like what we call like terrestrial TV, so just free, not on cable. And then I think Sky One used to like have on Saturday mornings like a recap show of what happened during the week. So it was just itty bitty here and there, grab what you can sort of thing. Unless you were paying for like the main kind of cable shows and everything, then you would have it. But yeah, that's why for me I got to WCW first because my parents weren't paying for all of them extra packages on the TV and that.
It's so weird how programming works because for WCW to be like on what we'll call it like a basic channel, like where it's the free ones,
right
out there for you. But for us, it was on cable television. It was on TNT. So that was like in the 90s. I think I still remember the channels. TNT in the 90s was like 37, or no, it was like 20 something. And then it went up to the 30s. But
that
it was
sounds about right.
Cable, so it was just like, okay, well, we either gonna be watching TNT or we're gonna be watching USA, and we watch USA for Monday Night Raw, and Sunday Night Heat came on MTV sometimes, and then we have to like it's just so weird how programming works, and the petty WWF fan in me is just like, I'm sorry to hear that you had to go through WCW to get wrestling, like.
Yeah, I think we all got there. We got there in the end, and you'd catch up, and I think tapes and stuff like that was very big at the time. So, or you got your magazines and all of that kind of stuff where you would kind of catch up and stuff like that. But yeah, we were even talking. Obviously, they've announced AEW All In that's going to be in Wembley in London. We were even talking like AEW in London comes on a Friday evening at like 11 o'clock or something like that. So that's like 2 days after it's actually happened, but it still like draws absolutely massive over here, like in terms of just a wrestling show. Like over 100, maybe up to 150,000 people watch that every Friday night, and it's 2 days late. So yeah, it's we get it how we can. Unless you're subscribed to all the stuff and paying for it and watching it at 1 a.m., you just got to catch it where you can.
Yeah,
I mean, I hear that.
We really are spoiled living in New York when it comes to consuming wrestling. But Wrestling Realm asked, did you guys go to any of those pay-per-views back at the London ones?
Nah, man.
I was meant to go to Insurrection in 2002, but I misbehaved in school, so my dad said I can't go anymore.
Oh no!
Right there, that part.
It'd be like that sometimes.
I remember my dad saying the tickets were too expensive, and we never went to a wrestling show. I never went to a wrestling show with my dad until 2 years ago. The WWE Live. That's the first ever time I went to watch wrestling with him. Other than that, it wasn't allowed. Not that wasn't allowed, but tickets were too expensive. And I think more time they didn't even know where to get the tickets from. And I was still stuck in the 90s, the like 90s. So like I was watching WWF Superstars on tape, like over and over again.
Yeah, same.
Like I had one tape, I didn't have cable, so I was just watching Hulk Hogan leg drop flipping Iron Sheik over and over again. It's only when we moved houses, and there was a boy moved houses. I was in like end of primary school, and there was a guy called Charlie, and he was my tape guy. So I told Charlie, record ECW One Night Stand, record this for me, and he record it and he'll give it to me, and I'll watch it. I'm like, oh, thank you very much. And that's how I caught up on wrestling. But yeah, as I got older, obviously managed to find streams and all this stuff. So
thank God for the internet.
Definitely. I was definitely the VHS guy as well. But it was my father. My father would I don't know where he would go, but he would get tapes of the Royal Rumble 94 with Undertaker, and that's why Undertaker's my favorite wrestler. That was the first wrestler I ever saw, and I thought, who is this zombie? I was absolutely terrified. I can't see his face, and then when he does the oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Yeah. Okay, that's crazy. I wasn't really noticing, but that's crazy. Yeah, I love you. You know. But
yes, Undertaker's biggest fan. He has no merch, no nothing, no figures.
Can you roll your eyes back? Of course I can roll my eyes back.
Hey yo!
No, not like that. You try to set me up. You try to set me up. Don't be silly. You don't try to set me up. Oh my gosh, and she's got a figure. Yeah, got figures. I was poor. Listen, when I was young, but you know what I used to do? When I was young, yeah, I was really poor, like at the time. I don't know why I confirmed. No, it's okay. You're poor. You see how I get insulted here? But no.
Walked right into that one. You walked straight into that one.
I know. To the door, bro. You know, Undertaker's definitely my favorite wrestler. But I was watching cassettes. My father would show me. He would give me WrestleMania 2000 as well, which was epic as well.
I had that.
Yeah,
I had the. There used to be a shop called Woolworths in UK. Big up to everyone that you remember Woolworths. So you'll go in there, and there'll be like a whole array of like cassettes. So you'll pick your cassette. And I remember WWE had Silvervision back in the day. Do you remember Silvervision? Silvervision cassettes. That's the legit WWE copy. The one with the back. You got the back. You got all the matches that's happening there. You got all like the time and all that sort of stuff. Silvervision. If you got that, yeah, it's good. So I remember we bought the PlayStation 2. I remember the PlayStation 2. You can get 2 free DVDs. So I picked the Rey Mysterio documentary, and I picked what else is it I picked? And I think I picked WrestleMania 18.
It's the Rey Mysterio one when he was jumping in the sky.
Yeah. That documentary was very good, and he went back. He saw his house and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's what. See, with stuff like that, that's the time you ever get to watch it. And same thing, watched it over and over again. And I think he had a bonus song. He had a music video in as well. Where Rey Mysterio was rapping. It was quite sick. So yeah.
Wait, who had a music video?
Rey Mysterio had a music video. Yeah. It's called. What's that song called again? It's called. He's rapping in Spanish, and it's like.
Why do I vaguely remember that?
Okay.
It's like I had the music video, and then after like I was so surprised. I was like, "Wow, Rey Mysterio can rap!" And it was like a few of the guys was chilling on cars, low riders, and just like
yeah.
No, I think it's white. I remember being white. But the first scene, he's walking near a club or something. Then he just starts rapping and stuff. And yeah, like I said, over and over again. So.
Oh wow. Yeah. Okay. So the story behind this figure, real quick. So, as you know, I work with. Oh, you probably don't know. I work at Hot 97, so I work with Peter Rosenberg.
Oh, sick.
So, we're in the process of like shifting and cleaning things out. So I go to my desk one day when I get back to work from California, of course, and I see this on my desk because they know that I'm that wrestling girl at work. So they see this on my desk, and also I see this Andre the Giant fig pin on my desk. Crazy. So I'm just like, oh my! Like I literally dead stopped a sentence and just stared at my desk like, who put this here? Oh my gosh, thank you very much. And The Undertaker was my sister's favorite. My sister used to watch wrestling, her favorite wrestler. And I'm just like, why not have the dead man on my wall rolling his eyes back? Pause. And
I'm gonna keep all my comments to myself.
I mean, you have to because it's not TWG after dark yet. You have to.
No. Or we gotta figure out Thirsty Thursday with you guys too.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, that's the show that you guys drink, innit?
Yeah.
I've been watching that. I've been drinking.
Oh, you be drinking? Okay, so y'all be up because we usually start at like 6 or 7, and that's probably like y'all ready in morning the next day.
Right? That's cool. We'll make it work.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. Yeah, that's fine. You know.
What we can do it when we decide to go to New York.
Ooh,
yeah.
Oh my God. Nah, we doing that. Well, we can try to get a studio for that or something.
We have to.
Yeah, we can sort that out.
Ooh, let's definitely plan that.
Right.
That would be a
Justin, put it in the notes.
Put it in the notes, Justin. Put it in the notes.
Manifestation.
He's our notes guy.
He's our No, that sounds so horrible to say. Now he's our notes guy.
Yeah, everybody gotta have a guy. You gotta have a guy for everything.
I don't like notes guy. I just feel like we gotta come. Everybody's gonna have titles because
he's your producer.
Thank you. He's a producer.
Definitely brings the vibes. So, okay, so your favorite is The Undertaker. Who's the rest of your favorite of all time?
Oh, bro, my one changed all the time. So I think from early, it's always been Bret Hart. Bret Hart's been my guy, man. I've always wanted to be the kid in the front where he puts the glasses on my head. But I'll tell you this though, everyone like. That's cute, man. What the hell? I wasn't to the front. This. I feel like right now when I say this is very controversial, but from young, and I'm not even blaming the tapes in it. I just obviously I'm from that childhood of like the golden age with Hulk Hogan and that. So Hulk Hogan was one of my favorite wrestlers before the whole scandal and all that sort of stuff. I just like the way it was shrouded in it. It's shrouded in it, and I think to this day, the Mandem still grooming me for it. Like. I think episode 1, when we all went around and we just obviously said I wrestled again, and I just got cooked for a good hour. To this day, I'm still getting cooked, but yeah, that's gone. But yeah,
the reason why than the one behind the Wrestling Realm account, he can relate.
Yo, I'm about to say, I feel like I'm talking to Brian.
He has to deal with that as well, like
the reason why we got onto him is because he said the leg drop is an amazing. Because he said the reason why we got onto him is because he said the leg drop is an amazing finisher. Unbelievable.
Let's get to that. Okay. I believe the leg drop is mad effective. Depending on who does it. Cool. If Yokozuna gives you a leg drop today, match done out.
Good point.
Even the Houston Hangover, the flip one, there's different variations of a leg drop you can do that looks proper sick. So a leg drop can take you out. It can wind you, take you out. It's believable.
You specifically said Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan's leg drop was effective at the time. It was a powerful leg drop. It was a game breaker. Once you drop the leg drop in the 90s, the match is done. No one's getting up from the leg drop.
Anyways, my favorite wrestler of all time is Chris Jericho. He's my favorite wrestler of all time.
Wow.
Ooh, yes.
I don't know if you guys ever had the show Drop the Mic over there, but it's basically like this freestyle show where all these different celebrities and stuff come together and like freestyle and roast each other. And Chris Jericho was on there going against Layla Ali, and it was the most funny.
Right. I remember. I see that actually. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
And then I saw the one with Jerry Springer and Ricky Lake, and Jerry Springer really decimated Ricky Lake. It was the craziest thing ever. But wow, like okay. I've never heard anybody say Chris Jericho is their favorite wrestler.
Really?
Wow.
I feel like a lot of people. He's in their top 5s or top 3s.
Yeah. I've never heard people actually come out and say that Chris Jericho is their favorite.
He's my goal. I think for me, like growing up, like just seeing someone who's just like they're good in ring, their confidence, like he can just change his gimmick, like from what he was doing in WCW, what he was doing in ECW to what he was doing in WWE. For me, it was kind of like, yo, like. I like to be like that. I feel like I'm like that. I just change. I'm able to like. I'm like a chameleon. Like one way I'm here, sometimes I'm not here. You know. He
was over there. I said he was over there.
You have to switch up. You can't let people know your next move. And I love that about Chris Jericho. So sometimes he comes with a fit like this. Comes like you never know. So yeah, Jericho's my goat, man.
Yeah. Another thing to mention. Yeah, I feel like Bret Hart is a lot of people's dads. A lot of people's dads. Honestly. When I mean dads in wrestling, like he's literally birthed a lot of moves and not moves, but like a lot of
he has.
Yeah, sequencing more time. Yeah, like how many times are you gonna see that Bret Hart finish with the pin? How many times are you gonna see that in wrestling? So yeah, man, Bret Hart's one of the best. One of the best, the greatest, man.
I love him. I love Bret Hart.
Yeah, I've missed the opportunity to see him so many times. This guy saw Bret Hart though. Did you see him?
Yeah, I saw him and he signed my world championship belt, which was amazing. And Jeff Jarrett. Which was crazy, actually. So
I was standing behind him. I literally like talked over him just to talk to Natty real quick.
Oh, shit.
Like, hey, the interview's up. Okay, had your dinner.
What about you,
Matt? I think mine has changed a lot depending on different eras and things of that nature in it. But I think if I'm to take like an average over my entire time I've been watching wrestling, it's got to be Bryan Danielson.
Wow. Oh yeah, he's a goat.
I think he's literally one of the best, like in terms of just performance-wise, whether that's in the ring, promos, drawing emotion, making people dislike him, level of violence. I just think he just ticks all the boxes for me and always has. Like, he's coming back into being my number one. We're leaving a period where it's been Roman for quite a while. Roman's he's still up there, but like, I know there's another conversation you guys wanted to talk about, so I'll leave my other thoughts on them too. But Danielson, I'd say, is the average over my span as a wrestling fan.
So, Krista, I know yours is The Rock, but besides him, who's your next? Who's your next? Like, if you had another one, I'm curious.
If I had another one,
yeah, like who's 1B? Like, if he's 1A, who's 1B?
You know me.
Okay, so I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna do from Attitude Era, and I'm gonna do from New Times, because my top 5 Attitude Era of all-time favorites: Rock, Austin, Mick Foley, because my God. Okay.
I love me some Mick Foley.
I love that. He's the same as me.
So Rock, Austin, Mick Foley, Taker, and for number 5, who would be
Chris Jericho.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Who would be my number 5? I really. I really would have to say Eddie Guerrero, because the live sheet still thing, and just like going back and rewatching the things that he's done in the ring.
Yeah.
Pure genius, pure comedic, pure everything. So yeah, those are my top 5. Attitude Era, Attitude Era. Now, of course, Tribal Chief, number 1. Okay, number 1. That's it. After that, after Tribal Chief, it definitely comes Bianca Belair, because that's my sis. Becky Lynch, because okay. So that's 3. 4 would be, if we really have to, I would have to really say Montez Ford.
Okay, right.
Like, although I love the Street Profits together, Montez just takes it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yesterday he'd be doing that frog splash. He'd be up there saying what up to Jesus to come right back down. Like,
I feel like he goes higher and higher every time.
That much height. Like, oh my gosh. And then
can I ask you a question?
Wait, hold on. Yes, go ahead.
Do you have a crush on him?
Do I have a crush on Montez Ford? I do think that he's very attractive, and this is something that I've told Bianca and him when they came to my job. Like, we told them
energy.
Yeah. But I said it very respectfully, though, because I'm just like building that rapport, and me knowing her, I'm never gonna sit here and be like, girl, y'all are very attractive. Y'all cute.
You're a very attractive.
Yeah.
Like, every female that I've come across had that same reaction when they first saw Montez, which is, that's a man.
Can I ask you a question? Yeah.
Sure.
I see you guys tweet about this reality TV show they've got. Is it out yet?
No, they're filming it right now.
You lot had me going crazy. I swear. I went on search on every single site.
It's not.
I couldn't find it.
It's not.
Okay, cool. Thank you for clarifying that.
Filming it right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, and my number 5 is Seth Rollins.
Oh, great.
Honorable mention.
He's gonna end up in everybody's top 10.
The honorable mention is Bad Bunny.
Oh,
Bad Bunny over Logan Paul.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
oh. No, but that's agenda, man. A lot of people don't like Logan, so I see it.
No, I like Logan Paul. I defend him to
Okay, fair enough.
I go to bat for Logan Paul, but Bad Bunny, Royal Rumble, what was that, 2 years ago when he came out and surprised everybody? Like, he didn't have to show.
I forgot about that, you know.
He didn't have to talk his shit. He literally came out and laid it all out in the ring, surprising everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Logan Paul, on the other hand, we know what he does. We know who he is. We know who his brother is. Like, we know they talk their shit and all other stuff. And yeah, he can back it up, but Bad Bunny didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that.
Shocked me. Bad Bunny shocked me.
Everybody. So yeah, Bad Bunny honorable mention. There it is.
Respect that.
Yeah, I respect that. So I want to know from y'all, like that moment, because I started watching wrestling really young. And it took me a little bit to like get into it because I was like 6 or 7 years old. But then it was like the storylines that really caught me and made me like, oh my God, I have to watch this every week. Like the stuff with like Stephanie McMahon and all of that. What's a match or a moment that you remember growing up where you were just like, okay, this is like the coolest shit in the world. Like I'm all in.
I think that's probably me and you probably agree on this one, yeah. Judgment Day 2000. This is another re-recorded. Big up Charlie again. He recorded it for me. Judgment 2000, yeah. The Iron Man match, Rock versus the whole pay-per-view in itself was amazing. Rock versus Triple H, Iron Man match. That match had everything. What got me, yeah, was obviously I didn't know Undertaker had the Ministry and all that sort of stuff. Them during them times, innit? So when Undertaker returned as the badass American badass, yeah, that's when I was like, yo, this shit is mad. I remember going back to school the next day. I was like, yo, Charlie, that's all sick. Charlie hadn't even watched it yet because his dad recorded it. So I kind of spoiled it for him. But it was, we were speaking about the whole day. Like, we were just, I was losing my shit. I was like, yo, wrestling is so sick, man. Like, Undertaker's a human again, bro. I was just losing my shit right there. Is that safe for you?
Like I said, you know me, I've not really been a great fan of the badass, but I do appreciate that moment. I definitely do. I think what got it for me, I think it was WrestleMania 2000, that ladder match, you know? Oh, yeah. That the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, and the Dudley Boys. I think that was just...
No, that was free on Channel 5.
Yeah.
Channel 4, sorry.
Channel 4. It was unreal. You know, I'm seeing Jeff Hardy jumping from a ladder, you know, and the way JR screaming, he jumped from a 20-foot ladder! And then AJ Christian! I said, you know what? This is too much. I started jumping. So that was amazing. Honestly, that made me really appreciate this art that we call professional wrestling, sports entertainment, whatever, you know. So yeah, that's for me.
For me, I don't know. I feel there's loads of matches, but I think one match that stuck out for me was triple threat match: Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle, and Chris Jericho for the IC and European
Championship. That was at WrestleMania.
WrestleMania?
That was at WrestleMania. No, was it WrestleMania?
Was it Backlash?
That was at WrestleMania.
It was both for both titles.
That's at WrestleMania.
Kurt Angle was
for both titles. Yeah.
And then also Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit versus The Rock and Stone Cold.
Yeah, that was
No. Triple H and Stone Cold for the tag team titles, where Triple H bust his leg.
Yeah. Bust his leg.
That's when Kurt still had hair, isn't it?
Yeah.
WrestleMania 2000.
WrestleMania 2000. I actually had that game for Game Boy Color. Okay, so I was literally playing the matches like on my after watching WrestleMania 2000, and I had the game. Like, let me. I need my Game Boy Color back. I ain't gonna hold you. I had the teal one.
I hear it. I fully hear it.
I need that back ASAP. I need to find it. I need somebody to ship it to me. I need Nintendo to give it to something. I need my Game Boy Color.
Yeah, I'll say for myself, the NWO being a thing, but just before Hogan joined them, like I've always been into Kevin Nash. I got a lot of time for Kevin Nash. I just think the guy is just too cool for school. I see him come true, and then obviously
oozes.
I just think he's too cool, like honestly. And then when Hogan turned, like, and obviously the reaction to that, I'd never seen anything like that in wrestling. These times I was probably about 5 or 6 years old. So people like bombarding, throwing stuff into the ring and everything was just like proper foreign to me. When Goldberg became world champion, I think
what a moment.
It was absolutely crazy. And my dad was a big Goldberg fan, so I think just naturally just kind of made me like Goldberg as well. And then by the time I started watching WWE, it was the feud between Triple H and Mick Foley. Yeah. You know, the cage match and the Hell in a Cell, and the street fights. I think that's the first time it felt like emotion, especially as a child. Like Triple H was just the dastardly bad guy. Like Foley was just the lovable baby face. And then that's the first time I probably felt emotion from wrestling. That this thing, if the story's told well enough, like it can make you feel a way, sort of thing. So,
and I think to kind of follow on what Mex was saying, because I was having the cassettes back then, so I was watching the actual rivalry. The way you had The Rock, Foley, Kane against DX at that time, and then it led to that steel cage match, and everyone had and the Big Show as well. It was amazing, and then it led to that whole, WrestleMania 2000, and then Foley got eliminated by Triple H, and after the Hell in a Cell match, Foley came back, but it was. Yeah, that rivalry. Yeah, that one was definitely
so
serious. 100%.
You mentioned that rivalry, and I remember like that promo that they cut when Mick Foley came out dressed out as Mankind, and he was like, I'm not equipped to have this match with you. Like, push my body too far. This, that, there. I'm not equipped to have this match with you. But I know someone that is, and he took off that mask and took off his white shirt, and it was Cactus Jack gear under that. Triple H's face. Like, if shit on yourself was a person, it was Triple H at that time. Because the emotion, and this was before we didn't know what kayfabe was, so we just thinking all of this is like real, like
real,
oh my god, that is one of my favorite matches. Like, I don't understand how I could watch that match, but I still can't watch the I Quit match between Rock and Mankind because
that was too much,
that was
man.
another one.
I was having nightmares. 9-year-old me having nightmares. Like, no,
that was a lot.
That was a lot.
I love those moments. What now I'm also like bringing up kayfabe. What's like a funny moment when you realize kayfabe growing up? Because like when I got back into wrestling, like in my early 20s, like there's a lot of things where I was just like, oh, that's not true. Oh, that's not true. Like, okay. What's a funny one that y'all remember being like, oh shit?
I can't remember the exact moment, the match that this was in, but I was watching something once and I literally saw the referee hand the blade to the wrestler. And I saw him obviously like change the cameras. Remember back in those days, he used to show the crowd and then they used to bring him back to the ring. I was bleeding. And I literally saw that. It puzzled me for so long. And then I think maybe by then anyway, people was around you start telling you, oh, wrestling's not real and stuff like that. And you're holding on to the hope, innit? You're holding on to the hope that, what are you talking about? It's real. But I think that one particularly was the final nail in the coffin for me.
I think, I remember because I've watched it over and over again, I remember I was watching an episode of SmackDown, and I just realized they weren't even hitting each other properly. Because obviously, when I'm young, I'm seeing that like I thought these guys are throwing like full punch uppercuts and that sort of stuff. So when I watched it back slowly, and I'm seeing The Rock not even spit on his hand when he does the what do you call it? What's that? What's the the combo? Like I just like wait, what the heck? But obviously, it didn't throw me off in it. It made me like even more,
Yeah,
I was like, "Bro, that's sick, man."
Like the art, like you said, the
art form. Yeah. Obviously, we have people like I don't know if I'm about to mention this guy's name in it. I want to call him Cole Buxton. We have people like Cole Buxton going from the top rope doing flying headbutts and stuff. But even that one there, I was like, sometimes I feel like he did hit it. You know what I mean? Do you know who Cole Buxton is, right?
Chris Benoit.
I didn't know if I'd like to say this guy's name, but yeah.
Before,
is it? Oh, she did say it. Yeah, it's it. Yeah. So that one there, I was like, okay, cool. Is that even kayfabe or not? Even when he used to shake in the ring, when he used to do
That's
that
the
shake.
CTE imploding in his head.
Do you know what? Do you know what actually got me? Boogeyman eating the worms. They're real. Or when Boogeyman ate the virus on Gillian's face. Yeah, sorry.
The steak. He had the steak. Relax, man. I said that was sick. Filet mignon steak on the
What you on, bro?
Filet mignon steak was literally attached to her face.
When I saw that, I thought to myself, "Oh man, this is horrible."
Well, I love that shit. I can't lie. The filet mignon,
but it was fake. But I thought, right,
it was more of like a.
It was so nasty. I think my kayfabe moment. And I feel like one of my kayfabe moments as I got older was when Triple H got kicked in the face and he's standing there mad long to fall.
Oh yeah.
Michael was like trying to like blow him.
Full damage.
All right, we get it. But you know what I mean? Like he's trying to like do things to make him fall, and Triple H and Shawn Michaels, you're not gonna You're not gonna spin. Triple H kind of like does like a one step.
The Ric Flair flop
hits the mat, and then going back further when Billy Gunn used to do the same thing. Like he would get hit, get up, and then literally like do a step and hit the mat really hard for no reason. I'm like, bro, you're overselling it. Another kayfabe one was the whole Triple H calling Kofi Kingston. I was like, didn't you used to be Jamaican?
That was funny. Oh my, that was funny. That was great TV. That was great TV. Do you know why? Because I've been waiting for years. I don't know anyone from Jamaica called Kofi. Honestly, I'm Ghanaian myself. When I first saw Kofi Kingston come out here, I remember I went on Google and I typed in Kofi Kingston's real country, and I found out he was from Ghana. You know, after like as time was going, I was like, this guy needs to come out with a Ghanaian gimmick or some sort of thing. I'm not talking about Kamala sort of stuff. I mean, as in like him wearing like the colors of Ghana and whatnot and stuff. So when he said, "Are you Jamaican?" I was like, well done for exposing this guy, bro.
That was a good one.
Kofi, it's sucker there, bro. As well. Yeah.
So speaking of that, how did you guys feel
what's your kayfabe moment?
Oh, I have so many. It's embarrassing because I was so like in it, like because I was so young and I was really into the storylines. Like I thought like when they went back in the curtain, they like disappeared, like they didn't exist anymore. Like I was just like, and then when I turned, like when Raw started, it's like okay, cool.
WWE game. Loaded. Just load into the next week.
Yep, I truly believe that. I was really into like me and my sister. I grew up watching it with my twin sister. Like we would like stay up and just be like just talking about the storylines, like Kane and Undertaker. Like we were so into that. Like when the Undertaker was terrorizing. Yes, I thought
that was my favorite. What was that?
Finding out that Kane was born in Spain.
Yeah, when Kane was Spanish.
Horrible.
Yeah,
absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
Wait, who was Spanish?
Kane is Spanish.
Spanish. Yeah, Spanish.
That rhymes, you know.
Kane was born in Spain.
In real life?
Yeah, in real life. His dad was in the army.
Oh, and he was born in... Okay, right. I'm like,
gotcha. That was going to be it.
That was a mind fuck real quick. Like, what? Okay, got it. I'm back. Got it.
Yeah, that was definitely something that I didn't know. I thought Edge and Christian were brothers for a long time.
I mean, technically...
yeah, they're practically brothers. Yeah. They're practically brothers. But I believed a lot of it, and I always think a lot, and we talk about it a lot on our channels, like with social media and blogs, and just like, do we know too much about our favorite wrestlers? Because you guys brought up Chris Jericho, and he was one of my all-time favorites. He's like one of the first wrestling shirts I ever bought. But I don't like a lot of things about his personal beliefs and his political beliefs and all that. It's like, damn, I wish I didn't need to know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish, I don't know, like the Undertaker as well. Like, it's hard for me to see him in like casual settings. Like, as crazy as that sounds, like I don't care to know who Mark Calloway is. Like, I want to believe that he's like a dead man somewhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the Undertaker I want to know.
Facts.
So, it goes like that for me.
Yeah, no, it's a painful experience, actually.
It really is. It's like, are you really my hero, or like, are you just this person who just dressed up to pretend to be my hero?
Yeah.
Like, this is why I love The Rock. He never changes. He stay golden.
The Rock has changed. The Rock has changed a lot. The Rock has changed a lot. I think so.
I mean, yeah, but you know who he is inside and out. Like, he's been very transparent. So it's not
from
like
the get-go.
On this facade. And then you go outside, he's someone completely different. Just like Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know who he was inside and outside. Right. But the one that we really didn't know who they were. We didn't know who Kane was. And then he ran for whatever position he got now, mayor or governor or whoever. And then, he gave his opinions on women's reproductive rights. And it's just like, hold up. You a wrestler. Stay in a wrestler's place. Like Undertaker. For a long time, he used to go outside in his all black, his garb and stuff. So now you see him regular, and it's just like Undertaker wearing a green hoodie. Why are you wearing green?
Yeah.
This was okay. Where's your all black?
Even seeing Undertaker talking for more than 2 minutes is a bit weird as well. Because Undertaker never used to speak that much. Obviously, when you cut promos, like he'll cut promo like a quick thing, like it won't be like a back and forth. But I see him on a podcast and saying, Yeah, man, the locker room was it. It's weird. It's very weird. It's very weird. Like obviously we're still getting
What was
used to
the
it.
phrase he kept saying? You know,
How about
You know, yeah, kids, you know, yeah.
kids, you know.
How
Yeah.
about attending Undertaker TED Talk? How about that?
Well, which one was to go?
I wanted to go, man.
You sure? I mean,
Oh yeah, boy.
yeah. I mean, I wasn't get sure, but it was good. It was funny because P was like, "Lord, we about to be." He got the Janet Jackson mic.
He was ready. Nothing was gonna stop him. He was gonna move around. He was gonna.
And that's
do
what he
his
did. He
thing.
literally gave us the TED Talk. He gave us every outfit, the story, the seamstress, what stitch they used. He gave us everything.
I can't lie. I would have lost my head. Respect.
One thing about wrestlers, they've got amazing memory. I don't know how they remember everything.
They
remember the time, the date, the location, the venue. They remember every single spot for every single match they've done.
Unbelievable.
I remember in the 1980s in Oklahoma, in the Madison. I was like, bro, how do you remember this? I don't remember what I did last week.
Territories.
Yeah. I used to work for Billy Bob Arden. I'm like, bro, I don't even remember who I worked for 2 years ago. Like, I don't get it.
Right.
I don't know how it was 2 minutes ago. Like,
Like what? What's happening?
make it make sense. But hey, they gotta remember just so they can remind us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all gotta be like Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens' memory is like an elephant.
Yeah.
Never forgets.
He'll bring up a lot of things.
He
Shout
brings
out
up
to
a
him.
lot of things. So I need to have memory like Kevin Owens.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
should we get into what side these they're on, like where they lean
Are you team Austin?
in the great
or you
debate?
Team Rock?
This question here, yeah.
Let me kick this off, right?
Very easy to answer.
As a child, and coming into WWF at the time, I was firmly Team Rock. Firmly, couldn't move. Like that's it. I should stop there, right? I think now as an adult, knowing what I know, seeing the entire business, watching things back, etc., it was always Austin over Rock. Like that's what the answer should be. Like, but I just feel like the Rock at that time was just great entertainment, hitting on all cylinders. Yeah, he was definitely something special. Once he got going,
fair to say. I'm not gonna. That's definitely fair to say.
Yeah.
Team Rock all day, Smokey. All right.
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, it's the Rock, man, over Austin all day, every day, and it's never gonna stop because he's the Rock. I don't rap, but you know what it is? I just feel the Rock's amazing, man. For me, when I watched him, he's in my top 5. Austin's not, so it's very simple for me. It's the Rock. He's electrifying. He has the eyebrow. He has the attitude. Even in a nation when he's all doing that, taking a mick out of Farouk, and he's just got it all. He's got the swag. He's got the sauce. He's chatting up all the girls.
Named after him.
Stratus. Austin weren't doing that. Austin's stunning everyone and just being a drunkard. You know, like
drunkard.
Wow.
Okay, everyone wants to drink alcohol and beat up their boss, no problem. But The Rock could beat up the boss too, and he was just swaggy doing it. So
it's funny you say that because growing up, I was I lived in a Rock household. I was the only Austin fan, and my dad, that's how he would troll me all the time. He would just be like, "Stone Cold just a drunk." He's like, anytime he would be away, he was like, "Oh, he's probably in rehab or something," because he's just a hot mess. I'm like, oh my god, like, and The Rock is Hollywood. He's clean. He's smooth. I'm like, ugh. But I mean, you're right, but it's still like you can say
I respect it. Austin is a goat though. He is unbelievable, and he's definitely changed the business. You know, for the Attitude Era for sure.
Absolutely.
But it's the Rock. It is the Rock.
The Rock. Like Rock has his own show. It has a show named after him. Like I'm confused. If there was no Rock laying the SmackDown, we would have no SmackDown. No, I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. Next.
Do you know what it is? I'm thinking I'm saying with Max, man. Like when I was young, I used to love The Rock. Any wrestling, any Rock figure, I had it. Like I always wanted to be like, The Rock. The Rock's biggest fan in it. But as I got older, I'm watching all the documentaries, seeing how Austin was like. Austin used to stroll to the ring, like his stories, like even the whole thing of him going to ECW and WCW, which I didn't really know until like say 10 years ago. Like it's all great. Like it's all great part of his story. So I end up liking Stone Cold Steve Austin even more, and just seeing the way he speaks on the mic, the whole what thing. That from young really got me in it. So with him coming to the thing and saying what, because I saw it as more of like a thing where it's like people are just ad libbing like he's some grime legend. Like we have in the UK we have a genre called grime, and someone will be like something, and again and everyone will say at the same time. So I kind of saw him as that, like a master of that in it. So yeah, man, Stone Cold. I'm Team Stone Cold, man.
I'm a Team Stone Cold. I can't lie to you. I don't know. I got into WWE, and I love The Rock. I thought he was corny at first, but as I started to watch him progressively, I used to think this guy's just stealing Booker T's flow. Oh, honestly, I just thought he was stealing Booker T's flow.
There's definitely an element of that.
And Booker T has said it himself. You know, The Rock has admitted it. So
I've never heard this before.
I started to appreciate The Rock maybe from like mid 2000s onwards. That's when I started to appreciate The Rock a bit more. But I mean, early on, I was always a Stone Cold guy, man.
You see, okay, so
you hear the glass break and
you know what I mean? Even the walking out to the ring and he just saying stuff
the Rock's theme song at first. Do you smell what? Not that one. Do you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Yeah. That was a bit. But then when you heard,
when it came, 2000s, yeah,
it's cooking.
Yeah,
with The Rock.
Yeah, but
The Rock is too much. I'm sorry. I get it. You lot can spray your beard, but The Rock for me, you know, the raising, pie eating. Please.
I was always
all right. So I see. Okay. Okay. So I'm trying to. Okay. I guess. First of all, book.
Yeah, speechless.
Shit, because I don't like these, but always trying.
You can't.
I'm trying to word this in the not so Krista B way that I would normally
do it. Krista B, I'm being so do it.
I think I might need to because what? Booker T can't even hold Dwayne The Rock Johnson jockstrap.
What in
Tell
ring?
them again.
What in ring?
Tell them again.
Booker T definitely a better wrestler than The Rock.
Because
I think in ring is a better.
Booker T is a better wrestler than The Rock.
Wait a minute.
In
1,000,000%.
In ring.
Wait a minute.
Listen, I'm talking about when it comes down to his swag or whatever, The Rock executes flawlessly.
Yeah, that's fine. We agree that. I don't agree. Yeah.
There is no way that should ever have come across that crusty mouth of his to say that The Rock sat and
not crusty mouth.
Whatever. He looked like he when he speaks, he got that spit on the side of his face. I don't
care.
Supine, I know you're in here. Back me, bro.
Nah.
Said that The Rock even admitted to stealing his.
Krista, I will send you the interview. I'll send you the video.
But The Rock never came out of his face in public to say anything like that. So you could never, ever give both of them a mic, and we already know who winning. We already know who taking it. We already know who's gonna be effortlessly sliding through.
I think moveset. I call it moveset. Yeah, as an in ring. Yeah, Booker T is amazing in ring. Like even he's.
I can't argue that because I'm not really. Like I've seen Booker T with the Spinneroonie, and I've seen like he has one of the craziest.
Let's go to WCW Booker T. The one that used to do spin, like wasn't banging Spinneroonie like it was like a taunt on WWE. We're talking about the one that's in the ring doing the madness. Like when I first saw Booker T in WCW, I think he was he part of it? It was the whole new gen with the whole new Vince Russo thing. So we saw more of him, and me seeing him doing stuff on the top rope, running around the ring, even the way he executes a move, and it's like the whole. What could I call that?
I'm sorry, but it's a flair. The Rock has a flair. Man actually. I know what you're saying, but I have to put it to bed. The Rock will actually slap you, spit in the air, and make another man fall over the ring. Everyone was gassed over that moment, bro.
Okay, but you can do that. You can do that right now, and people still have the same reaction. It doesn't mean anything to you, bro. It doesn't mean anything.
The not gonna get gassed by Del Boy doing the second.
Let's do a hustle. Let's do a hustle next week. We'll do a hustle next week.
We'll do it. I can't sell the move though.
You can. You'll be fine. I'll sell the move, and you do it, and then you'll see the crowd go mad. Let's be honest with ourselves. Come on, man.
I don't even think that The Rock was half the wrestler Booker T was. Like Booker T was a very good wrestler. I'm just talking about moveset and movement.
Moveset is amazing.
No man,
because Booker T knows a bit of kickboxing.
What does that mean?
No, what's that mean?
Okay,
Wait,
amazing. All right, cool. No problem. He can do it.
All right. So how we're gonna settle this? As this is going to pain me to my core right now. However, I will go back to watch some
WCW
on the some of Booker T matches in WCW during his Harlem Heat days, or even by himself.
The Harlem Heat days are good as well. Very good. Him and Steve, yeah, good.
I will be. I will.
Even as much against The Rock.
I would what?
No, Booker's good. I'm not even trying to deny it. I'm not denying it. But
I would go back to see, and I will be very impartial with a decision. However, Booker T needs to watch what he says.
That I agree with.
And
For
forward.
sure.
Yeah, we know that. We know that. Yeah,
agree with that.
I'm not giving them props, but yeah, be honest sometimes, you know.
May I ask why I don't want to give Booker T our props? Is it because he kind of
he's putting our people on blast, unjustifiably, like
because he's on Tom.
Okay. Yeah. He's coming. Adekunle, as we say.
He's Adekunle, as we call him. I feel like Booker T has a duty to black wrestlers. Don't put these people on blast. If you have an issue with what they do, or if there's certain things you don't like, or you think there's certain things they need to improve on, I don't think you need to go on your podcast and speak about it. No. I feel like you need to DM them, get their number, and have a conversation.
Help them do better.
Yeah,
you know what? I feel like you can improve here.
Like have a constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Don't put them on blast. Don't demean them and diminish them. Don't knock them down when they're trying to get up, because at one point you were probably in their same position.
100%.
And if you felt if you are doing to them what you felt, how do you think they feel now? Like you should take that and change it. Don't follow that same path. Like, oh, but this is gonna make you tougher and this, that, and the third. Like mental health is a real thing nowadays. Like you don't know what your words can say to fuck up with somebody's mental health. Like words hurt. Look at what happened when Sasha mistakenly injured Paige in a live event. Look how bad that literally took a toll on her due to social media alone. So to have somebody that you look up to, that people say, oh, is this, that, and the third, and they over here reading you for filth instead of give you constructive criticism just to appease a person that don't even look like us, that don't know what our struggles are on a regular. No.
And my problem with Booker T as well is that sometimes I feel like he doesn't realize that and don't get me wrong, as talented as I think Booker T is, I feel like he should have won the title maybe a few years before. Booker T won the world title on a formality.
Should have been Triple H, let's be real.
Booker T won the world title in WCW on a formality because all the big stars left and all the management left. So it was like, who's left? Who can you give the belt to? So Booker T needs to act accordingly and cut according to his cloth. Yes, you're this amazing guy, but you got it way harder than a lot of wrestlers are getting it now, but you should still be able to lead the way and still be a good example to them, rather than go on your podcast and say, yeah, you're not that good. It's like, bro, come on, man, do a bit better than that.
There's probably an element of Booker T protecting his position.
1,000%.
He doesn't want anyone else, another black wrestler that is, to come along and kind of, be regarded as one of the best, someone that's won 5, 6 or more world titles. So he wants to, hold that accolade. And that's why I think he's, this is someone that he has a wrestling school in it. He is bringing through the next generation. So this ain't how he speaks about the people he's bringing through. For anyone that watches NXT, obviously he trained Indy Hartwell, he trained Roxanne Perez. The way he waxes lyrical about them on NXT, like wants the whole world to know these are products of people that I brought through, sort of thing. So he knows how to give praise and probably constructive criticism as well. So when it's your people, do the same. We're still the minority here. Like
I was just about to say, like he gives it to those who don't look like us.
Yeah,
like. You don't.
It's almost like he's harder on us than he is like other people, and it's public, which is weird.
Which could be a sign of tough love. Like you could see yourself in a situation and like say, I don't know, if it's your brother or sister, you treat them harder how you might treat someone else outside because you want them to do better. But at the same time, he is a listened to voice in this community. So he can't be just going out and saying things willy-nilly. Like, yeah, you've got to just take it offline sometimes. It's not everything, come up with a headline just for a click and then you're throwing someone else under the bus, or damaging people's mental health because of your comments.
Right. That's why I loved when Sasha Mercedes checked him on, I think it was Raw Talk or Smack Talk or whatever those after shows they had, and she wanted to address some of the things that he was saying on his podcast about her. And he was like, no. She was like, no, we're gonna address this. Like, we're gonna like, what did you say about this? And we're gonna get into it. So I really appreciated that. And Brian H. Waters is right. Mark Henry, I definitely think also toes the line, and I think it has a lot more to do with protecting your spot. You don't want to rock the boat, you don't want to, like, it became more acceptable now, I think, at least on our side of the world, where standing up for what's right is now like commended, as before where it was like you didn't want to rock the boat, like you kind of like Booker T got his spot, WWE fucks with him, he's not gonna do anything too crazy, which is another reason why I love the New Day, because I think they are a perfect representation. Like, they have a responsibility as, some of the most visible Black wrestlers in WWE. When things were going down, you do have a responsibility, and they took it and ran with it. Like, they were outspoken about Black Lives Matter. They, did a lot of, when they rose their fists on SmackDown, I think it was, I was just like, see, this is important. And I don't see Booker T.
In stance of George Floyd.
Yes, exactly. And it was like, I don't see Booker T doing that. I don't see, Mark Henry doing that, or, even everything Montez and Bianca do for representation. Like, that's how you do it.
So here's where I lost respect for Booker T. And this is where it was just like, even if it was a part of a gimmick, it's still something that should have never happened. Triple H was a part of the authority at this time, and Booker T was going against something that was happening. And Triple H was like, if you don't like it, okay, you're fired. So he got up from the announce table, started walking back. He was like, you see how well I can control you and your career? Now I know that you won't want this job back. So now come back and sit down at this desk and do your job. Okay, I remember that. And I'm just like, even so, if it was real or not, first of all, I would have took a stance in the back during creative, because you're not going to sit here and make it look like you run me like you're my master and I'm your slave. That's what you're not going to do. And for the fact that you can really sit here and talk down to people who look like us, but you got embarrassed by your white boss on national television that people have been talking about for years, you get no respect. You get no points, no kudos, no flowers from me, because end of the day, if you can do that in public, imagine what you're doing in private, what you allowing them to do to you in private. So Booker T, in my book, congratulations for all that you do and for those who support you, but this one right here could never.
You a sucker.
Yeah. I hear it.
I hear it.
I do respect it.
What was your reaction? And then we can lighten it up. But what was your reaction to like the lawsuits that recently went out of that Black writer that's suing for racism and all that kind of stuff? Did that surprise you guys? Or were you guys like, we just need more people that look like us in the space?
It didn't surprise me at all. The WWE have been doing this for time. I'm trying to tread carefully on this, isn't it? But yeah, I'm trying to tread carefully because there's something I want to say. I'm probably going to say it.
No. Say it. I don't know what you're going to say.
No, I think it's the same sentiment he said on the podcast the other day. Actually, no, that's fine. I'll leave it.
my opinion, I haven't even I've seen the story come out. I need to read more into it. But 100%, we are not represented in the right places within the company, even if it's like, you know, a quote unquote tick box diversity hire. Like they were just not there. That's why so many of these miscommunications, whether it's the way women are treated in general, the way black people in the company are treated in general, because we're not upstairs writing these stories and in and around the boardroom and all that kind of stuff, you're always able to have the nonsense filtered out and come on TV if some of it makes it on TV. So yeah, it's right now. I just think, you know, whomsoever, everyone's just trying to do whatever they can to get Vince out of there. Like, you know, bringing up whatever happened in the past, all kinds of stories. Like, they're just trying to get him out, which, you know, is rightly so. But this particular stuff on the racism stuff, yeah, I need to kind of read a bit more into it to understand a bit what happened. But yeah, I saw something about Bianca Belair not wanting to be portrayed as ghetto sort of thing.
Right. Yeah, it was a line that they kept trying to put on her script to make her say every week, and she was saying that she did not want to say the line because she didn't want to be portrayed as ghetto. So yeah, I do appreciate. Shout out to Brian for saying. Shout out to Bianca for standing up. Because it's like, when will it stop? Like, there was a clip that just went viral that just Vince and Coach was in the ring and all the wrestlers around the ring, and Vince literally said verbatim, if you are
if you're not black, if you're black, then leave. Yeah,
black, then
not
leave.
Caucasian. Yeah.
What was this on TV or something?
So he shot it. So I think he said Sean Benjamin and MVP and Sean Benjamin walked out. And Mark Henry. Yeah, his son, yeah.
Oh, yeah, when he was looking for his son.
Yeah,
Mark Henry. They was like, yeah, so, and I get it's a part of the gimmick or whatever the case may be like that, but there's just certain ways you can word things to not make people feel that they're less than. Right. Yeah. So for you to sit here and say that, for you to say, what's up, my nigga, and wear a do-rag in front of John Cena, like, it's just like, when does it stop? And that's where, you know, around that time, I wasn't even watching wrestling because it's just so cringy. It's so embarrassing. And to be a fan of a product that you grew up watching, to see like the person that you thanked for bringing all of these superstars into your life and making them your heroes and stuff, turn around and throw some racist comments, epithets, and all of that out there like that and use it as a comedic thing. Most of your dollars are black. Like, we go hard. A lot of your dollars are black. Like, if we was to really sit and strike out and not put anything into this company, WWE, I don't think it would do much, but it would make a difference. It will make a difference. Like, you got to really be careful on what you do, especially because you're such a public and polarizing figure.
Yeah. So I want to know from you guys, because you mentioned in the beginning of the show where you guys are kind of the only Black wrestling podcast that's really like making moves and stuff out there. Like, what are some of your goals? You talked about, you know, everyone wanting to hang out with you guys and all that. Like, what are your goals for the Black wrestling community out there in London?
I mean, on my end, I think I can speak for everyone in terms of this. We want people to stop hiding, because I think that's what one of the issues were, like, coming out. It was trying to find people that we're making this product for. And as time is going on, people are coming out the woodworks, and, you know, they're coming out the bushes, they're coming out of their houses, and we're realizing, wow, there are a lot of Black wrestling fans, but because they haven't necessarily got a tribe of people that they can speak to about it, they just keep it to themselves. So for us, it's just more so, not even just finding more Black wrestling fans, but just showing people that, yo, wrestling is cool. Like, you can be a fly nigger and you can still watch wrestling. Like, there's no need. There doesn't have to be like a necessary look to what a wrestling fan is. And like, just being in LA, it was just like, wow, these are people that we would chill with. We probably would speak to them, because a lot of the people we're meeting, we weren't talking to them about wrestling. These are just casual conversations. It's like, wow, these are cool people that we probably just chat to on a regular basis, just chatting about anything. So yeah, and just take over. We're just trying to take over everything, honestly.
Love it.
We're just trying to take over. We want to be the biggest, the best, the baddest, and the funniest. That's what it is. We just want wrestling to be cool. We want it to be fun, because like as much as I enjoy a lot of the products out there, but a lot of them is just dirt sheets and reports and this person just signed a new contract. What do you think? No, let's have fun with this shit and let's give people something to enjoy and feel like, you know what, I don't understand wrestling, but you guys are funny and I enjoy the product, so I'm gonna keep coming back. And that's literally it.
That's literally it. Yeah.
Just
Took the words out of my mouth.
yeah. Hey,
What's that pause though?
I don't know.
I really
Just in case. Just in case.
No.
I appreciate you guys saying that, because there's definitely to a lot of people this like preconceived judgment on like wrestling and in general, or like what the typical wrestling fan looks like. Like we're not all like fat white guys that like live in our mom's basement. You know what I mean? Like we don't all look that way. And that's one reason why I'm glad we like discovered Jobber Tears. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Jobber Tears, but they have done so much with cultivating the Black wrestling community here in New York and even in the South, North Carolina, all that. They do pay-per-view parties. So that's where I was even shocked to see how many like cool people like, that like me, like that watch wrestling at like, and it's been like friends and family almost now. And we got connected through wrestling, but we talk about so many other things. So that's really important. And just like that reaction that you sometimes get, and then you realize, like, I love pointing out like how many YouTube subscribers WWE has compared to like other sports YouTube channels. Like I love bringing that up. I love bringing up how much money WrestleMania makes or brings into cities. Like don't underestimate, like even in LA, our Uber driver basically said something to the effect where like, oh, I didn't think it would be like this for Mania, like the traffic and everything. And I was just like, do you not understand that hundreds of thousands of people come here from like 40 different countries just to do this? Like, put some respect on that.
People are leaving their home, wherever their home may be, right, to come to LA in this instance is past WrestleMania. They ain't even got WrestleMania tickets. They're just gonna stand outside the stadium and take it in. They're just gonna go to a bar and take it in and watch it. But it's the atmosphere. And to be fair, I'm nicking that one from you. The using the stats, the subscribers, and all of this kind of thing. Because they always say it on their shows, but now that you say it, I'm deep in it. Over all these other sports TV programs and stuff. Look what these guys are doing. Their numbers compared to anything else that you're watching. You can't condemn me for wanting to watch this. Like everything on TV is fake and doctored and even the news. So you can't condemn me for watching this sort of thing, because it's basically the same thing. It's a TV sitcom.
Right.
Yeah.
That wrestling is a soap opera with hitting.
Yeah. Fact.
And I feel like there's a blessing with wrestling as well. It's like there's always something to talk about. I remember when I first started wrestlings, and initially I was gonna be like me, Dale, and one of my other friends, Nick, and was like, I thought it was gonna be a thing where we'll recap old stuff. And I think it was because of when we fought the first episode, and Dale started talking about this new stuff. And like, for example, like I think Kofi Kingston was about to come champion then, and I saw stuff. So we started talking about that, and that got me to watch wrestling even more. And I was just going to come on this podcast and just talk about old shit. Like, let's talk about Survivor Series 2004.
Yeah, well, initially, like the aim of the podcast initially was just to kind of like be nostalgia wars. So just
and talk about memes and shit.
SummerSlam 2002.
And actually,
stuff. But it's like, I feel like you're capped on doing that kind of stuff. Like, it's good as its own side project, like as part of the channel. But it's like the week to week stuff is and we're losing out on the amount of people that are watching it week to week. Do you know what I mean? So, and
it's like, I feel like whenever we do something, there's always that people that don't even watch wrestling. For example, I've got a lot of friends that don't watch wrestling. They'll mention like, oh my days, you guys are doing big things. Like I think the first time when I went to NXT Performance Center, the WWE Performance Center in UK, and we put up online, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, you man are going to this, you man are doing that. So that kind of drew people in. And after even the whole WrestleMania thing, we haven't heard the end of it. People are still to this day saying, you man actually went to WrestleMania. This is a dream for us. Like,
you guys look so lit out there. Want to come next year.
Like, if you see the group chat right now, we've invited at least 20 more people in there. People want to come. Like, I'm saying next year there's gonna be a squadron coming to Philly.
You can
honestly. The Olympics. You see when you come out in the Olympics after everyone has their flag and they're walking through Manhattan with their flag. So the English people will come through, the Japanese people will come through, the Caribbeans will come. Bro, it needs to be something like that, man. Like it's nice.
It's going to be the most craziest movie we are going to put together
Ooh.
Yeah.
for WrestleMania. Like Philly, like don't get me wrong, we loved going to LA, although it was cold. But P and I was just like, okay, can this be over so that we can just drive to Philly? Like, can we just we don't have to?
No,
pay
we had just got to LA and we were like, so about Philly,
like Airbnbs, gas and toll, all of that, because it's just like, and the fact that there are more of us in other countries, like when I say us, of course, that look like us in other countries, like you guys in the UK, who are willing to come out and be a part of Philly. I'm pretty sure there's people who look like us, of course, from the Caribbean, who's going to come out and support or whatever. Like, this is just not, the Black community in wrestling is growing. Like, we're literally a small fraction of what's really out there. And once we come together at something as big as WrestleMania Philly next year, we just go back to this episode, okay? Because I said what I said.
You can imagine people seeing like the Wale Mania content and us just linking up, and the amount of the amount of black wrestling content creators that are going to start popping up in the next year or so because they just want to be a part of that.
Yeah,
it's like it's going to be crazy. Do you know what I mean? And also, even doing a wrestling podcast is kind of a cheat code with women as well, because you know podcasters get a bad rap. Then on the podcast, our red flag. I'm like, oh no, it's about wrestling. Oh my god, that's so cute. It's so nice. What made you do that?
I respect it.
Men are talking about women's business, but you're talking about wrestling.
And body counts.
That's cute. Oh my god. Tell me more. I just thought you were younger.
Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan.
Started or whatever, you know, we was heavy on doing spotlight episodes, and shout out to the sis Trinity. She listened to the entire episode and was like, she's like usually when I hear the podcast about me, they're always talking negatively about me or the women and stuff. But this podcast I came across, they literally were the nicest people to talk positively about me, see us women wrestlers in a new light, and this, that, and third. So it kind of broke, like, because of her, she helped us get followers and viewers and stuff too, because she listened to the very end, because a quote that I said that she retweeted was at the very end of the podcast.
Crazy.
Wow.
Right. So for her to break that stigma, like literally take a leap of faith to see, okay, if we're going to be bashing her or if we're going to be praising her and applauding her for everything that she's done, it's a scary thing, but sometimes it has to be done. So it is a niche thing that we're sitting here talking about wrestling. We talk about women's wrestling. Y'all started off talking about old stuff and nostalgia, and now y'all just talking about everything under the sun. And for us to collab and do this today,
huge.
It's the most fun thing. Like US and UK link up part 1, because this is
I see most.
Technically it's part 2 because we saw each other. But
we did.
Part 1 streaming. Part 2.
And people, I want to also shout out everybody that's watching, that's been in the comments as well, because I think we're having a very important conversation about certain things, especially being that you guys, you know, live in a totally different country and where it's the same issues, it's the same things that we care about, which is that representation and being in that room, which I really appreciate. But I want to get into real quick y'all time in California. How did y'all decide y'all would come into WrestleMania? Give me some tea. How y'all had a good time?
So I think
kept saying it. I kept.
It was after. So we watched WrestleMania 36, the pandemic one.
Yeah,
we were all on our computers, and I think it was like they announced that they're going to go LA, Hollywood. So it was like, cool, we're going to be there next year. Then obviously they done WrestleMania 30, I think 37. Then after when that finished, everyone signed up for that pre-code thing. So as soon as it all came out, like we was like, listen, we gotta be there. We even tweeted it how many times and over. The boys are gonna be at Hollywood. I think when me and Sam bought our tickets first time, it felt so surreal. Like when you see the message on Ticketmaster saying, you guys are going to WrestleMania.
And I saw it on my wallet, my iPhone
wallet. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it.
WrestleMania ticket.
I couldn't believe
it. This is unreal.
Yeah, and even I can hear Vince in my head saying, "Welcome to WrestleMania." It's done. Yeah, that's what I heard in my head.
Yeah.
I think me and Sam called each other. Was like, "We're going." I felt like a kid. So, I think when we landed, that's when shit got real, man. Because it was like, we're actually here. Like, we're actually enough. Even when we went down in and out, was like, we're actually here.
Yeah, like I'm in Cali. Like I'm fully in America, California.
Was this your first time in the States?
No, I've been Florida.
I was born there.
Second time.
Yeah, he's born there.
Oh, you was born here.
Yeah, I moved to the UK when I was 5. I was born in Houston.
Dang, you picked up the accent quick.
I had to. I used to get bullied, so I had to.
Oh wow,
That's so interesting.
He's still got some sort of like a little twang to it here and there. You say certain words.
I just say English is on my first language.
Instead of you saying toilet, you say, "Oh, where's the restroom?"
I just say restroom.
I say it's not a restroom in my house. It's a toilet. A restroom. Why are you resting in the toilet?
Yo, me and my coworkers go like we make fun of each other's accents all the time, like the way they say things, the way they be like coffee, and I'm like, how the fuck are y'all supposed? Like, how am I supposed to say it?
That's funny, man.
Are you technically a U.S. citizen and a UK citizen?
Yeah, I've got 2 passports.
You got dual citizenship.
Yeah,
Anywhere.
Yeah.
That's what I'm always there.
Yeah. You got Nigerian passport yet?
I had a Nigerian passport.
It's expired. Yeah, same. I can't. It's long to get back.
Yeah.
I had to renew mine as well. But yeah, man, it was just a mad experience, man. Like I think even going to, I think the highlight for me was Wale Mania. I think Wale Mania set things off because when I was at Wale Mania, one guy from London spotted us, and we didn't even know who he is, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, wrestlers are here! Oh my gosh, I can't believe it! I'm telling you guys all night." I was like, "Wait, what the fuck? What's happening here?"
Yeah, that was surreal.
And after,
it be those moments. It really be those moments. Like,
yeah,
when we first launched, I think we only had like 2 episodes out, and we went to Jobbeteers, and some a girl walked up. Jen walked up to us and was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm a fan of those wrestling girls." We like, we only got 2 episodes out. What do you
think of a day?
Like?
Even like when we bumped into Jen, Sir Wilkins.
Yeah,
bumped into them. They're like wrestling's guys. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh wow.
I feel like we have to talk about actually even more, bro. Yeah, what's going on?
Those are the humbling moments. Like, for it to happen to you, and you're like in the UK, and for people to notice you guys, I love that for y'all. And Wale Mania do kick things off.
Yeah. Even when we bumped into Cam won't tell you we bumped.
Yeah, okay, this happened.
Cam won't tell you.
Let's tell the original story when we bumped into Cam. So Cam was walking in and out the backstage thing at the backstage. Do you know what, the VIP? Mm-hmm. So I must have went, wait, I saw that guy Seahawk from Twitter. And after I think we looked, it's like, yeah, it's him. So he walked past us again, yeah. I grabbed him like this. I was like, what are you saying, brother? You right? He was, English niggas. Oh my God, you're the English niggas. I'm sorry. It was like, yeah, after he's like, yeah, man, like it's all blessed, man, it's all love, man. So I was like, no, it was never like that, man. It was all blessed, man. It was all joking. Yeah. So that was a good moment as well, because me and Cam really, you know, he connects us with a lot of people. Connects us with if it wasn't for Cam, we wouldn't have come to the Black Press Up. That was great. That was great. Like a lot of, like everyone was there. Everyone that I see on Twitter on a daily basis, which is part of Black content creation or journalism, whatever, was there. And it felt like I was in Madame Tussauds. I didn't know where to look. I was doing this.
Oh, I love it.
Like, he's literally a great person to know, a great connection to have.
Absolutely.
Like, although I kind of gave him hell at Wale Mania, but it wasn't directed towards him.
Keep doing it.
Keep doing it.
It wasn't directed towards him. A lady who was not granted permission, she grabbed and touched my hair before we got to Wale Mania.
Right.
And I was just like, and now you got a white man telling me that I talking to me crazy about my wristband. Like, this is what I'm not gonna do. So it kind of just came off on Cam, but it was never directed towards him. Love him to death. He's definitely a good person.
Cam is blessed. He's one of the he's like very good guy, man. Very good guy.
It was California was it felt surreal. I think for me it was just like, I'm just a guy from London, you know, just coming in here and do you know what I mean? Even with my guys and doing rest things, I just feel to myself like, what the hell? Like even yesterday, I think it was a couple of days ago, we're chilling and a guy spotted us and was like, rest things, Anafi, Del, Sam. I'm thinking, oh, Sam. Oh, shit. Yeah, you know me. Oh,
that's
okay.
Me.
That's me. Shit. It feels like I'm just a normal guy that just talks about wrestling, bro. That's just me. I don't really.
I think it validated all the work we've been doing as well. Because it's like we've been working towards, you know, being here, you know. Like a lot of people say, like, oh, you guys are WrestleMania. It's like, we're actually here. We're connecting with people. we're meeting people that are fans of us and we're fans of them, and just networking. It's just like it just makes you a bit more hungry because it's like you want to be here next year and you want to continue doing this and you just want to make it happen and you want to make it happen with everybody you're connecting with. So it's like
even when we was there, I remember I was looking backstage and I was seeing the faces that are going backstage because the door will open every now and then and you'll see RVD, you'll see Shelton Benjamin, you'll see Russell talking there, you'll see not Russell, What Culture in there. And I remember all of us looking at each other like, next year we're gonna go backstage.
We're going there.
We have to go backstage. We have to go because me and Amelia have been following each other for time, like from early. And like when I saw him again, I was like, Amelia, do you remember me? He goes, nah, who? And I was like, I showed him up and he goes, oh shit, you guys didn't tell me we're here. I was like, yeah, cool. Next year, I'll tell you that I'm here. we can do something together, man. So next year, I got to be backstage for sure. We got to all be backstage for sure.
We will, man. We will.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I love the resurgence.
Yeah.
I just add, I think for what it kind of showed for me, it was like the commitment level of everyone. Like this wasn't a situation where, WWE called us and was like, oh yeah, guys, come over and put you up in a hotel and pay for your first class flight or whatever the case is.
You can only manifest that.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. That's for sure. But this was a situation where everyone wanted to pave their own way and be there in it. And I think for me, with us four that went, I had some friends and my brother that came as well that aren't wrestling fans like at all. Like, I mean, obviously everyone must have watched in their childhood at some point, but other than that, they came to support myself and what we were doing. We've had a couple of events in London as well, and they've come to those as well, just as a means of support because they don't know nothing about wrestling. And two, they thought, as we all probably did, that The Rock was gonna show up or The Rock was gonna have that match against Roman. So they thought, of course, this The Rock, let's come through to LA. But yeah, it's just everyone just being so committed and just showing support for one another. To kind of make that journey and get there. And then obviously, like Del said, the work we were doing out there, it was hardly a holiday. If I'm being 100, if I'm keeping it a stack for real, we should have stayed there for longer and actually
enjoyed it.
Enjoyed LA because we were literally working. We would go out after wrestling shows, we would go out, places closed.
4 a.m, bro.
4 o'clock we get home, we're editing. And then we'll edit some in the night, we'll go to sleep, we'll wake up, we'll finish the edit, we'll put it out so that, by the time we've got it out, it was 6 p.m. in London, people have got it, just as they're coming back from work. So it was literally all work. Even us now saying we're going to Philly, I'm thinking, boy, we're going to Philly for WrestleMania, but we have to pull up in New York for a week after Philly.
You have to. You gotta come to Legends.
It's not just about the work. We have to actually enjoy these moments as well where we're going. So yeah, it was cool though.
Absolutely. Well, we just want to say thank you guys for joining.
No, thank you, man. Thank you. You guys have been awesome, man. Honestly,
this has to be an ongoing.
This is going to be a reoccurring thing. Like,
let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Some more. Those shows or challenges. I don't know what content.
Let's do it.
I like your personalities, and I think it's going to bring the best out.
Same here. I feel like this is a good vibe right here.
A good thing. Like, I think Justin put it in the notes. Justin
put it in the notes. So it's funny because real quick, like how we started Thirsty Thursday, we did something like this with another all-woman wrestling podcast called Face Beat Hills High, and the vibes were there, and that's how we started the Thirsty Thursday, because we was like, wait, we want to do this more often. Like, how can we do this? So monthly, like, I don't know. I feel
we're gonna have to figure it out. We're gonna
feel something brewing here.
Yeah, we're gonna brainstorm. Maybe we'll exchange numbers. Wait, nobody has an Android, right?
No.
Oh, so yeah, let's get that group chat.
Okay. But yes, please let everybody know where they can find you at individually, as a group. When y'all episodes come out, just let everybody know everything, and y'all make sure y'all follow and subscribe to everything.
Y'all better follow Resting.
Next, go on.
Oh, it's Rest Things everywhere. So Rest Things on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, The weekly podcast comes out on a Friday. You can catch that on your Spotify's, your Apple Podcast, all of them places. And then throughout the week, there's always content dropping on the YouTube. Like we mentioned at the top of the show, we just got other kind of challenges, other kind of videos and everything. Just delivering all the stuff that people like in their wrestling media, whether it's lists, debates, arguments. It's all on the channel, just in different, unique, brand new ways. Shot and created by the Mandem, the guys you see here. Like, there's no production company or anything. And I know it looks good. It's us that's doing it.
That's what we gotta get straight here. That's what we gotta get straight. All the production, graphics, video, whatever. Music. Bring this thing here. Bring this thing here with the camera. This camera here. It's all come from this camera. This one camera. We shoot our stuff on this. Put money into this. We bought this camera, and that's what we shoot. And like, we've always been about quality.
We do everything in house,
honestly. So there's no money behind us. There's no Sky Sports News behind us. There's no BT Sport behind us. This is all from our own pockets and our brain, and from God. So yeah, man. God is good, man.
No, we're definitely gonna do this at least, every 3 or 4 months. Why not? Yeah.
I think that would be really, really cool. We could touch base. I wanna keep up with your progress out there. I used to be a community organizer, so like blending that with the wrestling community, and I'm really inspired by what you guys are doing out there in London, because it is very important to not just
make a group chat.
Let's make a group chat, man.
Absolutely, this is important. And Krista brought up Black Dollars, like they're out there, and I think WWE is slowly recognizing that. The past is the past, but I feel like they're recognizing that. Krista being the only Black woman in the press room, like we're trying to change that. We want to see our peers grow, including you guys, and we taking over. Like,
I just had a brain blast.
Go on.
Justin put it in the notes.
Justin, you've got work to do.
Justin needs his own podcast.
Trust me.
We doing this at least every 3 to 4 months. So around sometime next year after Mania and that little, I feel a TWG London takeover.
Oh, well, okay. Let's do it.
I think I see a lot of parties in our future too. So I don't know if you guys know, but Krista and I have parties.
We know about parties. Wait. Mexico told them. We know about.
Yeah. So when we're over there, if you lot plan a party for when we're over, we'll be there.
Now we're doing it.
You guys come over. We can get you cracking with a party. 100%.
We're doing it, and that's one reason. I'm sorry to interrupt you guys, but like we started throwing parties because we wanted to change that stereotype that like wrestling fans are like these like introvert like hermits that don't do anything, and it's like no, we have the girls, we have the sexy girls that like wrestling. We got it all. Like, y'all gotta come to our. We gonna have this. We gonna link.
Yeah,
man, I'll be there, man.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
He said, I'll be there. He's gonna leave us. He's gonna leave us.
What about the guys? They just said, I'll be there.
I said, I'll be there. Hey, man, I'll see you later.
Ignore these.
How immature. Thank you guys again for joining us. As you know, you can follow those wrestling girls everywhere.
Please, guys, follow them now. Follow them now. Follow them now. Honestly.
Subscribe to our Twitch. We are officially Twitch affiliates, so please subscribe to our Twitch.
Make sure you follow them.
Do that now.
Please subscribe to our Patreon. Please make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. We are streaming on Twitch almost every day now.
Shit. Work.
Literally, we was on Twitch every day this week, except for probably Monday.
Yeah.
Wow.
We were on Twitch.
We'll be back on Monday for our draft party.
For our draft party part 2. Definitely. So
this is the commitment I'm talking about.
We have a sound off coming out on Tuesday. Christina and I just did a recent sound off that we did yesterday, and it's coming out on Tuesday on our Patreon channel. So please make sure you subscribe, follow us. You can follow me on Instagram at
love that
_Krista_B_. That's MS_KRISTAB_, and the same on Twitter, MS_KRISTAB. You can follow Miss Queen PR over here on Instagram and Twitter, Queen3_PR. And make sure you subscribe and be in our Facebook discussion group.
Just follow it.
Lit again. over there. And we just love having you guys. We just want to say thank you again for resting.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Love you.
Been amazing, man.
Only the beginning. And on that note, it's your girl Krista B.
Queen
Restings, and we are out of here. We see y'all later.
Peace.
Scoot up.